Oh no, I can go in. Yeah. That's fine. I'm just still training. So.
Hello, gang. Hello, gang. Hello. You got me?
Morning.
Morning. Lise Dixon.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Cool. You can get nervous sometimes, yeah?
Yeah, very nervous.
So what do you need when you get nervous?
I just have a little talk to myself now.
Mm.
Go over.
Say you actually wanted someone else help for that nerves, like over the years when you've needed someone for help. What do you need?
Probably just reassurance.
Yeah.
So, just give someone a call and get a bit of reassurance. Go through what you're going to say, do, or just that reassurance that you're doing the right thing, that you are doing the right thing, that you are okay, that you are good enough, all of that sort of thing.
Cool. Okay. Who else we got? Rhodes.
Yeah, mate. Sorry, I just had to move out of Buzz office there and get set up. I'm on.
If you hurt your knee really bad and you need to go and see a really good physio, what would you do? If you didn't know one, you've moved up to the Gold Coast.
Ask friends and family who the best physio that they've ever had.
And what would you be looking for?
Results. What kind of result they had? Was it a smooth process? Was the outcome what they wanted?
Beautiful. Batesy.
G'day, mate.
Do you think I got a sore knee or do you think I'm nervous?
I can't see you, mate. How do I know?
I don't know. Why can't you see me?
No, I can see you, but I can't see your knee. Like,
With the questions I'm asking, why do you think I'm asking those two questions? The leading questions I've asked this morning to Lee Dixon and.
sorry, mate. I came halfway in, so I didn't hear them.
Oh, no. All right. Who was on there? Turn around. Which teammate was there?
Dan Slater was, I think.
Dan Slater. Thank you.
Hey, boss.
You think I'm nervous? You think that's why I've asked Lisa that question? Do you think I got a sore knee? Why do you think I'm asking those questions right now?
I think you're just asking him to see what other people do to get them to lead you into saying get social proof before they go and do anything.
Yeah. So what client am I possibly talking about at the moment? What part of the sale?
A vendor before they list.
Yeah, we've been through vendor a lot. From what I'm understanding, and even Jake's email, I think you're all a little bit nervous around buyers, yeah?
Yeah.
So at the moment, the buyers are a little bit nervous, yeah?
Yeah, some of them are, yeah.
Mm. So when they're nervous, when someone's nervous, we treat them a little bit different, don't we?
We cuddle them a bit more, yeah.
Cuddle them a little bit more. Cool. And when you're really nervous, you ring someone you've probably got the most rapport with, yeah?
Yeah, someone that you trust their answer isn't going to be bullshit.
Mm. Okay, cool. All right, so generally we're dealing with buyers, Dan. So buyers don't generally know us, so we're probably not going to have the relationship. Like if I get really wound up, I might ring my dad or I might ring Stu Ritchie or someone like that. So people that have got high trust. But as a real estate agent, how do we build trust quick?
You relate with them.
Relate with them. Yeah, cool. All right, Batesy, you get another chance.
Thanks, buddy.
How do we build trust with buyers that we've only met very quickly? How do we
ask some questions about themselves, get them talking, make them feel comfortable?
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. So the number one thing that when we talk about buyers at the moment is I think we've got to have a calming nature. All right. We've got to be quietly confident, not that arrogance that real estate agents can have. I'm not saying we've got that in our team, but we've got to be quietly confident. All right. So if you're in a situation where you may be slightly nervous, how okay, we can build, we can ask questions, we can find out about them. One thing about asking questions is that you're not necessarily, you're knowing a little bit about them. I'll talk about that in a sec, actually. I'm going too fast. How else can you build trust, Batesy?
How else can you build trust? Well,
Or
I think
confidence? Confidence is probably more the word.
what, confidence with the buyer?
Yeah.
Say, do what you say you're going to do. You know, if you're going to say, look, let me look into that and I'll come back to you. Do what you say you're going to do. You know, that builds trust, I think.
Hmm. Where do you reckon market knowledge sits in that?
I think market knowledge is everything.
Yeah. So you know what's exciting, Bates? You've been doing this for a long bloody time, so it goes without knowing that you should know market knowledge. But everyone in their patch or every property that they possibly go and try and sell, it's pretty quick to get market knowledge, yeah?
Yeah, you should be living and breathing it in your patch. Yeah.
So if I moved you into the Evans head office tomorrow, what's the first thing you do to get market knowledge?
I'd look at what's out there on the market. I'd also, I just research all the properties that are out there on the market at the moment and look at the last 3 months' sales as well.
So let's talk about the sales. Because sales, even if they're not our sales, they give market proof, don't they?
Yeah.
Generally, we sort of know what lists in our patch. I think most of you probably have quite an idea. But I reckon if I got Jakey to go to every one of your desks now and quiz around your currently properties listed or around your stock, have you really gone to that extra effort to know all the sales? And I'm not going to put any of you on the spot now, but sales and that social proof of sales are really, really important. All right, cool. Okay, so we've talked about basically the energy we have to have around buyers. I think we're talking about the relationship, knowing that we've got to communicate them, we've got to ask questions, we've got to find out. I think that follow up on the callback, you know, talk about a callback call. How can you build so much love in a callback call? So this is how a lot of callback calls are. So Batesy, you went through Smith Street on the weekend?
Yes, mate, I did.
How'd you like it?
No,
you don't like it.
No, it wasn't the house. Wasn't the house.
Oh, okay. All right, buddy. All right, mate. Well, I got to run because I got to try and find a buyer. Have a good day.
See you, mate.
Mate, what didn't you love about it?
The bedroom sizes were too small.
Yeah. Mate, I get that, and that's why it's priced that. Would you look at another like a different price bracket?
No.
So you're in that price bracket?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Mate, did you ever think that possibly knocking out one of the bedroom walls to make that bedroom a little bit bigger, and then down the track you could put another bedroom at the back?
Mate, just with the way tradespeople are at the moment, it's so hard to get good tradespeople. We're not into renovating.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and how about if I could find someone that I could really recommend? But how about...
Yeah.
I mean, what we could do is, you know, if you want to come into the office, I could probably scribble down what I was thinking. It's just at that price point, I think it's a lot. There's really good value in this home at that price point. Mate, if you could spend an extra 50 or 100, I wouldn't probably be having this conversation. But I just think if it's one of those properties you've got in now, because of the location being Shelley Beach, mate, like it's nearly impossible to get in Shelley Beach at that level. Or would you look possibly in another area of Port?
No, I'd look at another area.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, that opens a few things up. So Dan listed blah, blah, blah. I've got another couple. Mate, did you see that one Lang & Simmons has got?
Yes, I did.
And what do you think of that one?
Yeah, that one just wasn't quite right. Not enough backyard.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, why don't we go through exactly. So you want 3 good sized bedrooms?
Yeah.
Land size, mate?
600 plus.
Yeah. Okay. Now you talked about renos. I mean, would you do cosmetic, or you just don't want to do a build, or you just want it perfect?
Mate, painting and things like that we can do, but not knocking walls out and that sort of stuff.
Mate, I reckon there's 2 or 3 that our team have got. And I'm just going to quickly jump online, mate, and just see if there's anything else. I think there was one that the Hem guys were talking about. So I might have a little look at that, mate. And what I'll do is I'll just come back to you with 2 or 3 we've got. And if I see anything that anyone else lists, I'll let you know about that as well. Have you got any other questions about the buy process? Are you pretty comfortable with it now? Is there anything else I can help you with, mate? Or
No, I think I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Awesome. Mate, if you see anything that any other agent lists and you just want to talk through it, mate, I'm always here.
Thanks, buddy.
Cool. All right, Stokesy.
Hey David, how are you?
Hello. What do you think my rapport with that buyer's like now?
Fantastic. They're gonna definitely want to speak to you, or at least get some advice off you if they do look at something for someone else as well.
They're going to take your call if you call again, don't they?
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Who else have we got? Jakey Carter.
Hey, DG.
All right, this is a big bit. I mean, all that stuff that I've gone through is not rocket science. It's all pretty common sense, but I think we can all learn from it, yeah?
I completely agree. It's just brushing up on our skills again, getting back to basics.
Now, I reckon this is the difference between a good salesperson. There's two different things here that we need to do, and I'm sort of contradicting what I'm saying. I still believe there always has to be a level of urgency, no matter what the market's doing. We need to do it in a different way, but I still believe we need to create some urgency in doing that. And mate, you would have worked with some great agents, and in this with a large group. And how I say it, I've got to be careful how I say it, but we need a story. I think every property we list needs a story. I think you also need stories about the buying process. Jake, mate, you're about 10 grand away from buying this. Mate, it reminds me when I first got into real estate, I met a bloke pretty similar to you, mate, and it was really, really close. And mate, I've got to be honest, I wasn't as good as I am now. And mate, I didn't spend a bit more time with them, and they didn't buy it. And the market was a little bit now, I was a bit nervous. And anyway, this guy didn't buy it, end up missing out. I saw him about 6 months later, and he always regretted it. Like, I know it's coming down to 10 grand, but really, it really should be about this. Now, mate, the view, you love it, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Now, you said you wanted a little study, and it's got a study.
Yeah, it does.
It's got the lock-up garage with storage.
It does. It's got it all.
Mate, it ticks every single box. Now, I know you're just going to be like every other buyer, and it reminds me of 10 years ago when I was dealing with a guy exactly like you. But, mate, I can't get it for you for 10 grand less. The vendor is where they're at, and I just think it's the ideal place for you. So the only reason I'm spending this extra time with you, mate, is I'd hate for you to miss out like that other buyer did.
So do you think there's any movement in the vendor? I mean, I can't match the 10. I just can't physically. Is there any movement there?
It's going to be that, mate. And I've got another buyer coming up from Sydney that's going to have a look at it on Sunday. I'm actually doing a Sunday appointment. I can't believe it. But, you know, it is what it is, eh?
All right. Well, look, I'm going to have to make a few phone calls and see what I can do. And can I come back to you this afternoon?
Do you know how much extra a week that 10 grand is?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Mate, it's less than the beer at Tacking Point Tavern around the corner.
Right.
It's less than one beer a week, mate.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, why don't you pay the 10 grand? I'll drop you in a 6-pack, and then the first 6 weeks are for free.
Let me come back to you this afternoon. I appreciate your feedback.
All right, mate. No worries. I don't really want to do that Sunday appointment, so let me know.
Will do.
Cool. All right, break.
Hey, Dave.
All right. So what a lot of agents sound like this, mate. If you don't buy the 10K, you're going to miss it, mate. So, see, what do you think of that little story or how I spoke?
No, I think it would work well, and it was a little bit light-hearted compared to how it might be.
Exactly. You think I built a bit of rapport?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, stories, I think, are absolutely paramount with everyone, with anything. And it's trying to be able to build a story around the sale, the situation that makes people comfortable. Now, Braith, you haven't been around for long enough. That's why you need to be ringing Jake and me when you get close to things, because we can actually create a story to get these things sold. Make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like EG, I just looked at names, and Nath Wilson's got a bit of property in Crescent Head at the moment. All right. So the narrative around every one of those properties has to be really, really clear. Why is Joe selling that? Why is Michelle selling that? Why should this buyer buy this one over that one? Why is this one worth a little bit more? There's intricate stories in every single one of those stories. You know, hey, I'm selling a house now with Nate. You know, what's the story? Well, mate, why is he owner of bloody the real estate office and the Med freaking putting his house on the market? You know, so that could make you nervous, yeah, Braith?
Yeah, for sure.
Or how about the fact is, mate, he's actually bought another couple of things. He's looking to put a lot of money back in Crescent Head. He's about to start 8 townhouses. That's how strong he believes the market is. Look at the difference in that. Two narratives. Owner of real estate agent panicking, putting his house on the market, needs it sold, to, mate, how exciting. The owner, he's not only just bought this house, he's bought another couple of properties in Crescent Head. He believes in it that much that he's actually building on the Met at the moment, expanding, and he's about to build 8 townhouses. Two different narratives, same situation, same property on the market. See how important the story is? What do you think, Braith?
Yeah, I think it's probably a good way to go about it, rather than them, I suppose, putting you on the spot and then not having too much to come back if you know the story and everything before you go in there. You can explain it to them before they ask.
Cool. Bluesy.
Yep.
So when people get offered acceptance, who do they go and talk to?
Friends, relatives, tell them they've buying a property, actually, not in the process of, they're saying they're buying a property.
And 9 times out of 10, are they going and getting advice off the bloke that owns 5 properties? Or a lot of the time are they talking to a relative that's still fucking renting?
Yeah, the one that's renting. Yeah.
So common. They go to the doubter, the hater, the scaredy cat. No, don't buy now. All right.
Yep.
They often get advice. Or this is the worst, guys. And you're gonna hate that I say this. You know who are the worst? They're bloody parents. You know why? Because they love them. They're scared for them. And they want to protect them. So 9 times out of 10, even the most loving parents are telling, "Oh, you sure you're ready for it, son? You sure you want to spend that much, son? Oh, you worried about the market, son?" They love their kids, but they don't want to get their kids in trouble. How many times have you heard parents try and talk their kids out of buying? Bluesy,
That's actually happened to me. My dad said that. He just asked me to think about it. So in hindsight, it was probably a better thing, better not listening to him, if that makes sense.
My dad still does it to me now. Still now, no matter what I've done since. He just laughs about it now. But, the story, you know why the story is important? Because when they go home, they tell that story to their parents or their friends, and that story is the story that gives them comfort. Oh, so, hey, Daddy Blues.
Yep.
Mate, I've been dealing with that Greg Bates. Anyway, mate, he's been showing me heaps of places. Anyway, I missed out on a couple because he sold them. Anyway, he rang me about one off market. He's shown it to me. The owners, they've bought something in Queensland. It's just got to be sold, Dad. Yeah. And mate, he showed me a couple of sales. This would have been worth $950, I reckon, a month ago. Because it's off market, they're not going to spend any advertising money. Bates's helped me buy this at 880,000, Dad.
Do you think that's the agent's story or what you're believing?
Mate, he showed me the other one that just sold. And I've met Greg a couple of times, Dad. He's always been the most straight up bloke. And he's never rung me with crap. He's only rung me about this one. All the other ones, he's just put them on the market. Like, he's never talked to me like that before, Dad. So, like, he literally showed me because of the one I missed out on. And, yeah, I believe him.
Okay. So you've done your research?
Yeah, mate. As I said, mate, Smith Street sold for $940. I'm so pumped, Dad. And I'm saving the advertising money. Because he said, mate, if it goes to market, the guy's going to want $890 minimum, but they're not spending any marketing. So I can buy it for $880.
Yep. You know, Bill knows a bit about real estate, Uncle Bill. So do you want me to talk to him?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So he seems to know a fair bit about real estate. He always seems to be on the money. So I can talk to him.
Well, Greg sent me an email with a couple of sales. So can you send those to Bill as well?
Yep, I'll do that. I'll send those to Uncle Bill.
And there's another one that he showed me that Plusy hasn't been able to sell. And yeah, they still want $960. Plusy can't sell it. So Hello, Lisa Dixon. What did you get out of that today? What are you getting out of that? The story and the comfort and the buyer.
Yeah, it's just the reassurance. It's almost taking also the real estate hat off, and you're being an advisor for them, really.
Cool. So is Logan on? Logan, I haven't seen your name. Logs, you on?
Yeah, mate. I mean,
Yeah, cool. So when you asked me about possibly getting an offer on a property, all right, and then you said, "Oh, if we get a good offer," and you're a bit confusing. Do you remember the question I asked you?
no, mate. What was it?
Oh, well, glad I made a great impact. What would you do if you were the what?
What would I do if I were the buyer?
No, the owner. Anyway,
The owner.
good.
Yeah.
We're doing good, Logs. We're going good. So remember, I said
Haven't
you
had the
said
coffee yet, mate.
that's okay, mate. Remember, I said you said, "Oh, if I get a good offer, we might put it to bed," all right, or something like that.
Yeah. And
my question, remember, I'll say it so I don't put you on the spot, was, well, mate, it's really simple. What would you do if you own the property? So, it's putting that hat on. So the same thing is, if I was the buyer, how would I want to be treated? If I was the buyer, how would I want to get comfort? If I was the buyer, what little things would I need to give me comfort? Well, I want to know what's on the market. And I want to know what's being sold. And there's one thing to be able to rattle it off your head. And, we all want to learn the secrets of Stewie O'Brien, but I know that he knows the story behind not only every house, what Lisa was just saying, he knows the story of every human. Bob and Mary are selling because they're doing this. Paul's putting their market on doing that. The Lowe's bought that years ago and they've spent this. The Joneses have done that, they've done that. It's the story behind it. So not only is it the story to help buyers, it's you taking away and giving them comfort. And then always think, what would you do if it was your place? Don't ever get an owner to take an offer if you own the place you wouldn't take yourself. But give them the opportunity. I should double check that. Sometimes they should you got to give them the opportunity. But when you know you would take it, that's when you've really got to put pressure. Jakey.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different talking between like a Fegan or or what you might hear off Lee Woodward. But like your Marty Farahs and your Rick Sorayos and all these great agents, they know how to do this instinctively, don't they?
It's the art of putting a deal together, but it's also about social proof as well. Everyone wants a bit of social proof.
And can you just take an order or can you lead?
No, you can definitely lead.
Yeah. And
this market is where you're going to have to lead, and it's coming down to, as you said, your product knowledge and your market knowledge. And we spoke about this yesterday on the 8 a.m. call. It's, at the end of the day, when you've got buyers coming through the door, because they are, so far and few between at the moment, it's about absolutely making sure that you're grabbing them. And if you're not selling them this one, you're selling them something else of yours or your teammates. You're not letting them go and, oh yeah, you looked at the one around the corner. Yeah, I went and had a look at that with them. God, the fourth bedroom's downstairs quite a bit, isn't it? Like, for a family, are you sure that you want that? You've got to start now thinking and getting creative.
Cool. Alita, what'd you get out of today?
Yeah, just to really look after the buyers and give them as much knowledge, help them out, make them feel confident and comfortable, and that they can come to you at any time if they have any questions.
Beautiful. Charles, what'd you get out of today?
Hey, Dave. Just the story, I think, creating a story. I've got my sale at the moment in Homedale Road, had 2 buyers making offers that are not at the level. They're both young buyers that are probably nervous. They are nervous. That's what they're saying and expressing. So that's great. I've got to put together a better story, I think, on that property.
Yeah. Look, I totally get that you're a first home buyer and there's some little nerves in the market, Charles. I believe there's little windows of opportunity, and I've been around long enough in real estate. We never know how big those windows are. There's certainly, there's no doubt that, there is a little window at the moment. Now, that window could get bigger or it could get smaller. We just never know what's going to happen in time. But right now, there's a little window. And, 6 months ago, you might not have even been in the race for this property. Do you know what I mean, Charles?
Yes, Dave. Yep.
So the exciting thing So my sister, this was probably, oh wow, it's a while ago now. But anyway, there was a little window exactly like this. And you know how, can I let you know how I explained it to my sister?
Yep.
So what I said to her is, if you buy this property now, and even if it goes backwards 20,000, in 10 years, is it going to matter?
No.
Okay. But what I said to my sister at the time, because she knows, because I'm in real estate, she thought I was, obviously greedy gut Dave, always trying to make a dollar. So she thought I'd like be pushing her to, try and get a steal. But what I said to her, and this is exactly what I'd say to you. All right, there is a little window, but we're looking around 7 for this house. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. But mate, if that tomorrow was worth 800, what would that do to you?
Well, that'd be terrible. Yep.
Yeah. So I always say in this market, especially for first home buyers, all right. Even if it goes backwards a little bit once you're in, we all know, or history has proven that in 10 years' time, it'll be irrelevant because it'll be worth so much more. However, there's so many first home buyers in the market that have sat back and waited. And guess what? They're now living in a villa or a townhouse or in a different suburb because they didn't take that gap. And then all of a sudden that $700,000 place was 800. I'd hate that to happen to you, Charles.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either, Dave.
Cool.
Yep.
So, mate, is the 700,000 the fact that you're a little bit nervous at the market, or the bank won't let you get there?
No, I can pay the 700, but yeah, I'm nervous about where I have been nervous about where the market's going. So I've got the money. It's just all about all the news and the papers and yeah.
So you're buying a $740,000 house a few months ago for 7 now. You know what I mean? No brilliant person ever has picked a bottom of a market. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. Yep.
And anyone that I've sold a property to, even in the strongest real estate market we've ever seen in the last 2 years, I haven't had one buyer ring me up and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I bought my house." Because once you bought your house, mate, you're settled. You got your furniture where you want them. You got your friends coming over. You got beers in your fridge. You're back to living. When people you don't look at your super every day, do you? Because you know that it's long term, and owning a house is exactly the same.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yep.
So I'm not going to go on, guys. I'm not going to ask more of you. But the thing is, are you equipped enough to have a story like that I had to Charles? Do you have your stories in place? And if you don't, role play. Arthur and I, 16 years worked together. All right. Jake, jump back on.
Yeah.
All right. You got a buyer on one of my properties. I want 800 and you give me 780. Give me 780.
I've got 780.
Cool. All right. How old are they?
They're in their 30s.
Cool. What do they do for work?
One is a stockbroker. The other is a nurse.
Yeah, cool. What was their first offer?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah. What they offer first?
710.
Okay. So you got them up to 780. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they missed out on anything?
They missed out on something about 3 weeks ago that we had, but they couldn't get there. They've gone and got some more money from their parents.
Oh, they've already gone back and got some more money off their parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you can get any more out of them?
Maybe another 5 if I push and beg and borrow and steal.
Okay. So in that, found out what they do for work, how old they are, have they missed out on anything, how they negotiated. Because guess what? Sometimes if you want 800 and the first offer is 790, even though you know the owner would take 780, by taking that offer at 790, you could lose them. Because the psyche of that buyer is that you've accepted who's got their offer accepted too quick? It happened when I just bought my last bloody car. So it's knowing the personality of the buyer. It's not necessarily about the price. It's about how they've got to make their offer. Every single buyer, what do they do for work? How old are they? Have they missed out? Do you know them? What's the difference between an Indian buyer, a Chinese buyer? I'm not being racist, but they all have different ways of generally speaking, how they negotiate. It's understanding that. A salesperson negotiates different from an accountant, generally speaking. But those generalizations get us through in life, don't they? And I'm sure Rick would have put you through the same paces, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He told me, you know, if you're going in to present an offer, you better make sure you know absolutely everything about that buyer, because the vendors are going to want to know.
So,
and I knew everything.
Lean in, everyone. For 16 years, Arthur and I had that same fucking conversation, whether it was his buyer and his vendor or my buyer, my vendor, whoever. 16 years. All right. Pretty sure in 16 years, you know what we're doing, and we still do role play. How many of you guys are doing role play? One mistake, one conversation, accepting an offer too quick, accepting an offer too slow. Every little bit in a nervous market can affect your sale. So if you get better at it, and even if you think you know what you're doing, role play with your mate. Role play with your mate. Role play, role play, role play, role play, role play. Because you know what? There's no opportunity for mistakes. Because 3 months ago, there was another buyer 2 seconds away. There's not. That could be your only buyer for the next 3 months. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but just get fucking better. Just get better. All right. I hope you guys got something out of today. Bye.
Thanks, Dave. It was good.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Dave.